What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode 36 of the Nightly Nonsense Podcast. I'm your host, Adam. I'm here with Dave and Chris. Not that you guys always know this, but recording a little late tonight, Dave had to make an impromptu work trip. So, Dave, tell
Yeah,
us where you're at, what you're doing. Give us the
yeah.
lowdown here.
That burnt orange
I
background. You
know
can just
you like
tell it's
this.
a hotel right away.
I know. Can you tell? Yeah, I am coming to you live from Camdenton, Missouri, the metropolis that it is.
Oof.
Population under 5,000 people in this beautiful city of Camdenton, Mo. No, I'm staying in a sleep in. I arrived at 9:02 p.m. in Camdenton.
What is a
Uh,
sleep
I was
in?
going to say,
I
I have
know.
never heard of a
So
sleep in.
it is a Choice Hotel in the Choice Hotel brand, and it is low on the totem pole. It is low on the totem pole, but this one is actually not too bad. But so my choices in Camden are this or a motel called Dave's
Okay.
Hideaway.
I've seen this logo before now that I'm looking up the sleep in. I feel like I've seen a sleep in before.
So yeah, I mean it's not terrible. This place
This
is
is
not. It's not
it's
too
just
too
the
bad.
Lake of the Ozarks though.
Yeah. Well, no, Camdenton is at the Lake of the Ozarks. So here's what I let me explain. So in
Walk us through it.
Camdenton, in Camdenton, there is the sleep in, and then there's a motel called Dave's Hideaway. It's a motel that looks like they're probably slinging drugs and you can get an hourly rate there. I'm not going to stay there. And then there's places like Margaritaville or the Lodge at the Four Seasons, things like that. So I've stayed like I've today. So I found out at like 4 o'clock that I was coming here. So I hop online. I'm like, all right, let me see where I could stay. Margaritaville. I look at Margaritaville first. It's like over
Bad
two
memories
hundred
from golf.
over $250 tonight. And I'm like, okay, not gonna book that because also this is getting drawn out, but I my office doesn't pay for me to stay in a hotel. They give me mileage for driving with the expectation that I'll drive tomorrow morning to come down here to go to court. But my court hearing is at 8 a.m. and it's 2 hours and 45 minutes. And so I'd have to leave my house at 5:15, and that's under the assumption that I will pull up to the courthouse and walk straight in and go straight into the courtroom. And so really I'd have to leave at 5. And so I'm like, I'm not doing all that, especially me
I
who
don't know about that. That seems like a hostile work environment.
yeah. So I'm like, but my mileage check easily pays for a hotel most of the time. So I'm like, I'm not pretty much I choose where I stay and I use my mileage check. So I'm like, I'm not using all of my mileage check to stay at $250 Margaritaville. So then I look at the Lodge at the Four Seasons, and that was even more outrageous tonight. And then I looked at the Sleep In, and usually it's like $100, and it was 175 tonight.
Oof.
And I was like, well, this is the cheapest option. And it said something about like almost sold out. And so I was like, all right, well, let me just go ahead and book this. And so I booked it. Well, like I said, I pull in at 9 o'clock. Parking lot's nearly full. There's like 2 spots in the parking lot. The swimming pool's like full of kids. I walk into the lobby. There's all these people walking around in the lobby. I'm like, what is going on in Camdenton, Missouri on a Wednesday night?
It's pumped.
And
It's bopping.
so the guy at the front desk, nice guy, he's like, oh, like, what's up, man? Like, I'm glad you got a room. He's like, we're full. And I'm like, yeah, like, what is going on? And he's like, oh, you're not here for the concerts? I'm like, what concerts? He's like, oh, you don't know about the concerts? He's like, yeah, we have a full concert series that's starting. And I'm
Might
like,
stick around. Anything good?
and I'm like, who's in concert? And he's like, Whiskey Myers. And I was like, okay. Like, I'm a big country music fan. Like, I like music. Whiskey Myers is a kind of,
Do you guys hear that?
yeah, it's coming in my headphones. It's not on my end. Okay,
That
so we're
was
back.
terrible. Yeah, we're back.
We're back on. Okay, so technical difficulties, beeping. Thought the place was about to blow up.
Pop, boop, pop. Sleep in
So-
was going down.
Yeah, I thought so. But anyway, Whiskey Myers, mid-tier country artist. Apparently he's going to be in concert back-to-back night, and everybody from all of mid-Missouri flocked to Camdenton to see Whiskey Myers. And then
Memorial Day weekend, so you probably just got that added holiday weekend bump at the lake as well.
and then he said Willie Nelson's going to be here also, but Willie Nelson's not till Sunday. I looked it up.
Old Slick Willie.
Yeah.
So you have to spend $170 out of your own pocket to stay at a Sleep Inn, and you get to do anything but that tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't get to go to the concert.
Or sleep in.
Exactly. I don't get to sleep in. I have to get up. I'm gonna be here for all of like
7
8
hours.
like yeah. I mean less more than that.
More
But,
than that, more
You
than
hate
that.
to
We get
see it. You hate to
Yeah.
see it.
Yep, you hate to see it, but I mean not out of my pocket because I will be in reimbursed and
Yeah, but
somebody-
not really, because you would be reimbursed all of that if you didn't have to spend it on
And
the
then
hotel.
in your mind, you're like, well, they're reimbursing me for the gas, which is paying for my hotel. But if you didn't have to make the trip, then you just wouldn't have had to be reimbursed for
Yeah, not to mention the reason they reimburse you for the trip is because of the depreciation on your vehicle.
you're not wrong.
All right,
You're not wrong.
Tis
we'll
what
allow it
is.
for now, but
We'll allow it.
let's
we'll
have
allow
a
it.
conversation about some of these accommodations.
Put a
We'll have a-
bookmark in that and table it for later.
Yeah, we'll have a conversation off pod about it.
Sure, love it.
Sure.
But if
So-
if you were listening last week, not everything is misfortune for Dave. He had his PGA Championship bet hit.
Bing.
Yes, I did. Finally.
I mean, you've
Finally.
been how many tournaments have you bet that Xander would win?
I've bet him on every major since 2021,
Oh my god.
I believe.
It's one of those that like he's always right there. So you would be like, if I don't make the bet, that's gonna be the weekend that he does it. So I'm sure
Yep.
that played a part in it. But I mean,
Exactly.
he's a likable guy. I feel like there's not too many hateable guys on tour these days, and I feel like we've talked about it in the past. Really, when it comes to the majors, I just hate when like kind of a no name wins. It's one of those sports where I very rarely root for like the underdog.
Sure.
Yeah. No.
But-
Like
But it's not even like
Um,
the underdog, because if it's a guy that like truly like came out of nowhere to win, like that would be cool. But like
yeah.
I'm trying to think who's just like a middle of
yeah,
the
like
road
that's what I was gonna
golfer.
say. Like even if they had like a cool story, so like Michael Block, like that was an underdog that I would
Yep.
root for. But if like
Correct.
if for some reason like
If
Adam
Daniel
Hadwin is
Berger-
about to win the Masters, I'm not gonna be like super
Yeah.
hyped about that. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daniel Berger, another good example. Like
Yeah. Daniel Berger. No, and Daniel Berger getting a lot of ricochet shots on this pod tonight.
I mean, nothing against Mr. Berger, but he's just one of those guys that like
No
he
one
doesn't
cares
he,
about.
he doesn't do it for me. He's just there.
I'm definitely gonna have to clip Dave saying that he's bet every on Xander of every major since 2020 and send that to him.
2021.
2021. All right.
Yes.
Still,
Yep. No,
For a
I know.
while.
I
it's
know.
incredible.
I also hit on Colin Morikawa top 10.
Yep.
Oh, so there was 2 hits this time.
He
Yep.
finally sprinkled in a couple top tens from little note that he got from our friend Christoph.
I did. I
Who
took
were
notes.
you had 3 guys that you had top tens. Was Colin the only one that hit?
Yeah.
For
Brooks
some
did
reason
not.
all weekend I thought you had Hovland, but
No.
Brooks was in it though for a while.
Yeah. I think he came in 28th. And then Fitzpatrick did not make the cut. You hate to see that. But that was my other 2.
And even Xander finally getting over the hump, I feel is probably the second biggest storyline of the
Oh,
weekend.
yeah.
How
Our
about
guy.
Scotty Scheffler just getting arrested?
Well, and I was thinking about this too. Last week on the pod, I believe that I was quoted as saying that Scotty was like which he still is. This doesn't change anything because he was
It's not like he did
wrongfully.
anything actually wrong.
Yeah, but I was like, Scotty is like the utmost, like the best guy on the tour. Like he is a model citizen. He's the best guy in the world. Like
Yep.
I think I just was like going on and on about how he was the best human ever. And then I wake up the next morning after we recorded that podcast, and I look at my phone and it says Scotty Scheffler has been arrested. I thought it was a joke.
So I'm gonna be honest, I really haven't read much about it. Pretty much all the information I've gotten is just from internet content. So like, what genuinely happened?
There's really not much to it. Like there was an accident on the scene
Tragic.
early that morning, which is very
Yeah.
tragic, and I'm assuming that led to a lot of tension, people on edge, like you have to imagine, like, let's just play devil's advocate and assume that police officer has been there since like the crack of dawn that day, like maybe even worked overnight and had to, stay late because he was working the night shift, and then all that stuff happened, so he had to stay on, keep working. Something like that is what I'm gonna say happened to make me feel a little bit better about it. But basically, this was in a complete different area. So this was not near where the accident happened. It happened like at the entrance to the club, and basically this lane had been shut down. The VIP lane had been shut down because of the accident.
Yep.
So Scotty
Mhm.
just drives in the same way he typically does, which it did surprise me a little bit that professional golfers drive themselves, but also doesn't surprise me. But anyway, so he just drives up in this lane, and this officer is like, "No, you can't. This is closed. You can't go there." And he's like, "I'm Scotty Scheffler. I'm playing in the tournament today." And he's like, "No, this lane is closed." And Scotty, I'm assuming, is probably like, "Whatever. Like, I'm just gonna go. Like, okay." Like maybe he's joking around or something.
Yeah.
Drives ahead, but then the report also said that he dragged the police officer for 30 to 60 yards or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I
Well,
saw.
I saw
report,
that
too.
the police officer like latched himself onto the vehicle.
Yeah.
I think is like the word. So he like the mental image I have is like
I know.
in any movie when someone's driving away and a person's trying to stop them, they like dive onto the windshield. Like I see him just like, hey.
Yeah, I think he did. Like, and I think that, like, well, according to the reports, he never said like I'm Scotty Scheffler. Like he pretty much was like, I have a tee time this morning. That's what he said. Like he's like, I have a tee time this morning. I'm here for practice.
I mean, to be fair, that like you would think any cop in that area probably knows what's going on in Louisville that weekend, that if he's saying he has a tee time. And I think that's probably a better thing to say than like anytime a player gets arrested and you hear the clip where it's like, do you know who I am? Like that just
Yeah.
makes them look so much worse.
Important to note that the report did say that he had his player tag displayed in the window of his car like he was supposed to do.
Yeah.
I
saw
feel like
that.
if you have that, like, I don't know what the confusion could be, or the
He
only
was
thing
like
that I
you
could
said,
really
it was late hours. He was sleepy. The guy's been on a long shift and he was just over it.
that,
Well-
or it was truly like the biggest misunderstanding. And Scotty's like, I have a tea time. The cop thinks he's joking. Scotty thinks he's joking.
Yeah.
Like, no, okay, haha, very funny. You have a tea time today.
Back
it up,
line.
pal. Yeah,
Yeah.
back it
Yeah.
up, pal. And
I think
Scotty's
that's
like,
what
all right,
happened.
yeah, ha ha ha. He drives forward, and the cop's like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Wait, no, I thought we were doing a bit.
Yeah. Well, the funniest thing I saw, well, not the funny, but one of the funniest things too, is at the end of the report, in the section where it was like felony assault of a police officer or something, it was the last sentence says, as further evidence of the assault on the Officer Gillis's new pair of expensive pants valued at $80 were ripped during the incident.
And the rest of the description was like light bruising and scratching,
Yeah.
like twisted ankle or something like that. It was just the most ridiculous, like non-provable stuff ever.
Not the
Yeah.
expensive pants.
It's also crazy that there's no body cam footage that has surfaced yet.
And they said that there was no body cam footage.
Why? They
Because
don't wear
I
body
think
cams
like
there?
I'm sure it was more so like you would think a guy that's just directing traffic outside of a golf course, like they're not
Yeah,
thinking
yeah,
it's
yeah,
going to
yeah.
be a high leverage situation where they
Yeah.
could see body cam footage having to come into play.
I don't know.
Do you guys know what vibes it really gives off? Mark Wahlberg shooting what's his name and
Derek
the other guys
Jeter.
and Derek Jeter and the other guys.
I've seen that clip a couple times. It's like this Louisville cop at his next like cop meet, like their next meeting is like it's game 7 AL championship. Big figure in the tunnel holding a weapon.
You cost me $20,000 on that game. I cost
You
the
shot-
city a championship, man.
Everyone hates me. You shot Derek Jeter. He's a biracial angel.
So funny.
Have you guys seen? Have you seen the like skit that Shane Gillis does, where he's a police officer and it like his wife has a dinner party
Mm-mm.
and
I think so. Yeah.
he like comes downstairs in a robe and he thinks that he's in war or something, and so he acts
Okay,
like he's gonna
I
shoot
have
him
seen
all.
that.
And he's like, "Whoa."
Yeah. Well, the
Whoa.
officer that was dragged in the car was Officer Gillis, and so
Oh,
I've
no.
seen a bunch of gifs of of that skit, and it was like this was the officer that was being dragged by
It
the
was
vehicle
it was part of the bit the whole time.
the whole
Uh,
time.
One other like similar vibe, Christmas with the Cranks. You guys are familiar, right?
Yep.
I actually don't think I've seen that one.
Was that not? I thought you took that in your, not you, Adam, Chris. I thought you took that in your draft.
I might have taken it. Have you seen it, Dave?
I have not, but
Okay.
I recall you taking it in the draft.
You guys won't get the reference then. It's all right. It's too
Well-
topical for you guys.
Well,
Ti-
give the reference for the listeners.
My only Tim Allen Christmas movie is the Santa Clauses.
There's just a scene where the neighbor is like trying to get the lady to put up her Christmas lights and stop and talk to him. And he's going like this. He's got his hands on the window and he's like walking by it and she keeps rolling up the window. And then he pulls out his hands and the gloves stay there that he has on. And so she's like driving, not trying to look. And she looks and she sees the gloves and she screams because she's like, oh my God, it's his hands.
That's funny.
That's the vibes it's giving off.
I'll watch the clip. I'll watch the clip.
If I would have seen the movie, it seems like it
Yeah,
be
you would have
funny.
laughed hysterically.
I think I'm laughing anyway, and I haven't even seen it.
So really only other storyline from the PGA Championship I've wanted to bring up, which I've actually talked about this with, I know you, Dave, a couple times. So I feel like when Bryson first got on tour, he was a pretty hateable guy. And
Yeah.
he still has like his weird quirks about him, but I feel like he's come such a long way. Like I don't find myself actively rooting against him anymore like
Sure.
I used to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel
the-
like he has.
The
come a
clip
long
from
way.
this tournament that really did it for me was, I'm sure you guys have seen it, but he like tosses a ball into a crowd and he's like trying to toss it to a kid. And like a grown man catches it in front of the kid and starts walking away. And like Bryson like stops, yells at the man, makes him come back, like give it to the little kid he was trying to throw it to. And then he carries on to like the 10th hole. It was like between 9
Yeah.
and 10. And I was like, okay, I respect that.
Yeah, I think that's a good example, and I feel also like he's just kind of been like
He's not as serious anymore.
No.
he's not, and maybe it's because the switch over for him to live golf was a good thing for him because he doesn't have to worry about winning tournaments to make
Yeah.
money anymore or something.
I also
Uh,
think he enjoys like he does a lot of YouTube stuff and
Yeah.
he's made some
Yeah.
good friends
Well,
through
that's
that.
the
And I feel like
you just see more of his personality.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, and I just think he like has more than just golf in his life now. That
Yep.
he's like he's not obsessing about it 24/7 because that's very much his personality. But I will say one other thing that's interesting to note is I do feel like he's been playing a lot better recently
Mhm.
too. He's lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Doesn't look as jacked anymore. And I will say, we talked about this a couple pods ago. Like, since I've stopped like lifting super heavy, I've been playing better. So I think there is definitely a
Oh,
correlation
I
there.
definitely think there's something to that.
yeah, explains why John Daly was always good at golf.
Yeah, maybe. I don't think anything can actually explain that.
Dude, how about him
Scientists
with drawing?
are still trying to figure that one out.
How about him withdrawing on the second day? I saw real quick. I saw like some memes about that too on the internet. he was driving to the course and saw the heavy police presence with Scotty Scheffler, and he was still drunk from the night before, and
Just
he's like,
turned
"Yeah,
around.
not dealing with that. I'm
Yep.
going home."
I've seen those too.
That's pretty funny, but
That was good. Either way,
But-
good championship, good major weekend.
yeah,
Loved it.
And
I
then
loved it too. It's good golf.
the complete reverse of quality golf. So I want your guys' thoughts on this. I saw this video literally right before hopping on the pod, and it was just a video that said every day a golfer in the world unknowingly hits the worst golf shot in that day. And I'm
Mhm.
pretty confident that I've probably have been that golfer that's hit the worst shot in golf that day.
Oh yeah,
I don't know about that.
I've hit some bad shots.
You got to
back in-
think about the numbers, though.
I know,
of,
but
like,
back when I first started, I was so bad.
well, I
But
mean, we
someone
played with
starts
somebody.
playing golf every day, so someone's also taking
Does-
their first swing ever of the day.
Does whiffing on the tee at the first cap count as a bad shot or no, because I didn't make contact with the ball?
You
I mean-
addressed it though with intention to hit it.
Yeah,
Like,
and
that's
I
counts.
whiffed.
Yeah,
And I whiffed.
Yeah.
How many other
pretty
people you
bad.
think whiffed on the tee box at a tournament with their boys? Like you
lots
also have
of
to
people.
just whiffed.
Yeah,
I mean,
Probably
yeah,
right.
that
there's
was
been a lot of people who whiff.
crazy.
And then the best part was the next swing. I just absolutely piped it dead straight, but it was technically my third
Which
shot. I
which
guess
one
because I
was
whiffed.
this?
That was day 2 in Scottsdale of the first trip.
First
so
one?
Desert
Desert Canyon. I
Yeah.
think I ripped a
Yeah.
little left right into that little house. Like there was like a
Yep.
little hut. I think I obliterated that thing, topped it right into that to the left. Terrible hole. Gosh.
I think.
Were we in the same
group?
group that day? Yeah,
Yeah.
we were on the same team, weren't we?
Yeah,
Yeah,
finished
you guys
second
were.
that year.
That was rough.
There was who we were playing with somebody at one point that hit the tee right out from under their ball, and the ball went straight down. Is that worse than whiffing?
Yeah.
That's worse than whiffing.
That might be.
Who did
It's up there. It can't be much
Somebody
worse than
did
whiffing.
that? Who
and then
did
when-
that?
I don't
When
know.
we
If
went-
you're being realistic about it, would you rather top it like 30 feet into some bushes, lose that ball, have to go pick it up, or whiff it and just be able to just be like, all right, instant reload, hit again?
I mean,
I don't know.
both are incredibly embarrassing.
For the
If you
worst.
whiff too, Adam, it's not your third shot because you don't have to take a drop. You just hit again.
It just is a whiff.
It would also
It's just a whiff.
it would
Yeah.
also be so different if there wasn't starters there watching us. Like if it was just the
Mhm.
boys, it's a very different vibe. But when there's that starter there and you
Dude.
know that he's judging the whole group based on these swings.
I will say, I think the
Yep.
whiff in Scottsdale was better than in Hilton Head when the guy was like, you just have to get it over the water. And I was the first swing and I like dribbled it into the water. He's like, I think that's the first time I've ever seen that. I was like, sick. Thanks.
Damn. Damn.
First time I've ever seen
Dude,
that.
it's
Absolutely obliterated.
I'm like
him.
notoriously bad when I have a big group watching me. And at Kent's bachelor party, I was glad that I was in like the second to last group because like Miller was recording everyone tee off. And I was like,
Yeah.
crap, everyone's watching me, but I actually hit a good shot. I've gotten better at that, but I'm usually notoriously bad with a crowd. I don't
When
like it.
everyone with all eyes on you,
Yeah, I don't like
you're
it.
not ready for tournament play.
No, I simply am not.
Yeah.
Neither
No.
am I.
Well, to answer the question, I mean, I definitely agree with you. I've definitely hit the worst shot in the world. I feel like in a given day.
I don't
I
think
haven't
so.
I haven't whiffed, but I mean, I also feel like worse than whiffing is like if you slice a ball straight right all the way onto it. I mean, you're farther away from the hole probably than even if you're whiffing. Like,
Or when
Yeah.
you go for like a chip around the green and just like shank it right. And it's just like any time where you hit a golf shot and you're able to just walk to your ball, it's not a good feeling.
not a not a great feeling. Not great.
I think three putting is still worse than three putting for bogey is still worse than any of those. Three putting for bogey is worse than any bad shot, I feel like.
So I will say 3
'Cause you're
putting
so
for
close.
bogey in a situation when, because like there's sometimes like if you land on like a big green, you have like a crazy long lag putt. Like I'm not that good at putting that like I'm expecting to get that up close and give myself like a really realistic tap in. But
Sure.
if you're like within like 20
Sure.
feet,
3
30
putting for
feet
bogey
even
inside of 20 feet is
is
brutal.
brutal.
Because you have 2 chances at it. Like,
Yeah.
and really the first one is not really a chance at it because you shouldn't be like trying to make it necessarily because none of us are that good. But in your mind, you're like, all right, I still have a chance to make this. Like hit a good putt. You miss that, go super long,
I
come
was
back
gonna
or miss
say,
that. God.
Usually my recipe for a 3-putt is an overconfident first putt that I hit long, and then in fear of hitting the next one long, I leave it way too short, and then it's just like an uncomfortable distance where it really shouldn't be uncomfortable, but because it's for par, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's just a roller coaster of emotions. You're so happy from hitting a good shot onto the green, and then you're like, I have this chance, and then it goes away. And I hate it. And I do it way too often.
All the emotions. But
Right.
no, yeah.
To be fair, Chris, you probably are right. Like there are some bad shots in golf
For sure.
hit every single day.
Oh,
Maybe that's the
Well-
silver lining I need to take when I'm on
Yeah.
a golf course and I hit a bad shot. I'm like, someone hit something worse than this today.
100%.
Exactly. There's
I've seen
somebody
some
out
of the
there.
worst golfers that like. I mean, you guys are athletic. You have like at least a idea of what it to look like. There's people out there that have no idea, that
This
aren't
is
even
true.
on the same. Like they're trying to play hockey. They're trying to like slap shot stuff.
Yep.
Like
You're right.
It's
You're right.
not even close.
I appreciate you calling me athletic. That was really nice of you.
You are, Dave.
I know I'm athletic for a big fella.
You know the fundamentals and everything behind it. You got the athleticism for sure.
Oh,
For
thank
sure.
you. Wow.
I love you personally.
Wow. Gosh, my face is turning red. God, my tires are being pumped so much right now.
Blending into the wall behind
I'm
you.
blending into this burnt orange. Holy
So,
cow.
complete change of subject now, going off of
Scroll-
sports. Chris,
Off of sports.
what's the cicada situation in Iowa? Because it is horrible here.
So
They are-
none. And I actually did
None?
some research into this. Yeah. So it's only in Missouri, essentially. It's basically just Missouri that's getting hit with this double millennium hatch. That's
moving
just
to Iowa.
crazy.
They
No,
are
don't, because I was
loud.
thinking about this today though. In Missouri, it's been a while since I've lived there, obviously. But there's not like not like gnats or like bugs really. There's some mosquitoes, but they get really bad like late July, early August. But other than that, there's not really any bugs or anything, right?
I feel like in the
Uh,
grand scheme of things, we don't get super buggy.
Like
no.
gnats are like
Some, but not terrible.
it's
Because
bad
it's
here.
not like a lot of like water. Like there's
Yeah,
not
but we
like
don't have any water here too. They're just like grass gnats or something like that. They're called like May flies or something, and they're horrible. They're really
You
bad.
think it has to do with like all the farmland?
It must be. I have no idea what it is, but they're so annoying because they're just everywhere. Like you have to get like this peppermint spray when you play golf and put it all over you because it's the only thing that keeps them off, and you have to reapply like every 4 or 5 holes because
Yeah, that would
they
suck.
travel in packs and they're just crazy.
I hate these cicadas so much, though.
They are really loud. They are like really loud, and they're all in sync.
Kristen and I got
the
home
sound.
from running some errands yesterday, and there were some in our home that came in through the chimney.
Ooh,
Oh,
the dog play
Yes.
with them?
I was hoping Murph would eat them. They're a good source of protein.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the videos of like dogs holding them in their mouth and they're like, "Brrr."
I've
I have
caught
not
Murph
seen
eating them a couple times outside.
They're pretty funny.
that's crazy. First
But
of all, that they
inside
do
the
that.
home, I was not happy to see like 3 of them just like on the ground.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah, you guys have
crossing
a
the line.
breach, legitimately.
You need to seal that chimney off ASAP.
Yeah.
It's had to be done for a while, to be fair.
Yeah.
The thing,
Wow.
the like, not netting, but like the wire that's like up there, there's like a hole in it. Like we get birds in there. I hear some
Probably from
animals in
Santa.
there sometimes.
Yeah. Santa.
If it
Did
rain,
that.
if it's raining sideways enough, I can hear the water in there.
Oh, yeah. You got to get that. That's going to cause some more expensive damage if you don't get that sealed off.
Problem
Well,
for another day. That's
Either
tomorrow.
way.
I agree with that.
That's
either
next
way.
year's Adam. Next
For
year Adam's
sure.
problem.
For sure. But yes, I agree with you. The cicadas are out of control. They're really loud. You go outside, it's deafening. They're all in sync in their sound together. It's like
So
a
loud.
wavy. It's like goes quiet for a second and then it gets super loud and then it's quiet and then super loud and it's like wild. It's crazy.
Do you want to hear another crazy thought that I had today related to cicadas? I literally had this thought on the way home.
I would
It's
love
a,
to hear nothing more than that.
it's a wild it's a wild
Sure.
thought to just even have just naturally as you're driving a car. But I was
All right,
thinking
I'm ready.
about cicadas and I was like, it's crazy that these cicadas just live, die like super quickly, go underground for years and years and years, and then just reemerge. And I was like, well, like what purpose do they even serve? And then I was thinking, are humans just cicadas for like celestial beings? And like, you know, they come, they like the time frames are expanded, obviously, but like to a celestial being, maybe 500, 1,000, 3,000 years feels like 4 months, which is like what the cicadas stick around for. Like
Sure,
maybe
sure.
like that's just what humans are, is just cicadas. I don't know.
That is a wild
Thought, man.
I like it though.
Those things pop into my head sometimes.
Sometimes.
And
What
this
if we
is
are
Chris's
the
conspiracy
what if we
theory.
are the cicadas?
We are cicadas.
It's all a simulation.
Oh,
And we're really
great. Okay,
loud.
so I just remembered what led me to this thought. This is also very interesting. God, you guys are getting a good peek into my brain right now. So I saw this video that scientists in Pennsylvania have an insect suspended in a dome surrounded by millions of LED lights. And the LED lights trick the fly into thinking that he's actually moving through time and space, but he's not. He's suspended there. So it's essentially a bug in a VR headset, kind of.
How do they know what the bug's feeling?
Yeah.
The bug's eyes and like movement. So like if the screen goes this way, the bug will turn this way.
But
It's
how do they know that
crazy.
the bug feels like he should be going through time and space?
No, what I'm saying is like the bug thinks that it's actually moving
How do they know that?
because it's reacting
Through
to
the
the screen.
reactions? Okay. But it's just hanging there.
It's just
But
staying
it's not
completely
moving.
still. Yeah.
It's not
Interesting.
moving.
Suspended in the air, nothing holding it.
I'll have
Wow.
to do some research on this.
So they're completely manipulating this fly.
Yeah, yeah, this bug is being completely lied to.
So
And then the first comment on it was, "You laugh, but we are the flies."
what is the purpose behind this experiment? Like, what are they hoping to be able to solve? Do you know that? Have you read enough? Like the science, like why are the scientists just doing like who is paying these scientists to just do this with this bug?
Because they're probably trying to prove that if they can do it to the fly, then they could do it to people.
to a human? Yeah,
But
or they're just trying to
why?
learn. What do you mean, but why?
What's the scientific method behind it? What's the hypothesis? What are they solving for?
I would say that if you impose virtual reality on an unsuspecting subject without them knowing, and you immerse them in it enough that you can essentially control them.
Okay. Mind control. There you
Mind
go.
control.
Okay.
Exactly.
That's the end game.
If I get in my car and think by my surroundings that I'm driving my car based on everything around me moving, but I'm not actually driving my car and I'm just sitting there, then they can control the fact that I'm not actually going anywhere.
Yeah.
That's what they're trying to do.
What are the X
Then think-
variables and what are the Y variables?
Well, you expand that even farther and you just do it to someone at birth, and that person could think that they're living a whole life out and doing things, but maybe they're not. Maybe they're in a coma on a bed the whole time.
They never
Potato
even
mode?
moved.
That's
They've never
wild.
even moved.
I don't have all the answers, guys. I just know what questions to ask.
And next thing you know, it's like the Truman Show.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Hey, neighbor.
I'm
Howdy.
gonna have to do some research. I have so many questions.
Sure. See?
See.
I need
See.
answers. I
Anyway,
need
that's
answers.
crazy. That is crazy.
So yeah,
Chris.
those are my thoughts on cicadas, basically.
All right. Well, there you
And-
go.
Now we're at the point of the show where we just get absolutely off the rails. Because Dave, you said just find some things that are trending on the internet to talk
To
about.
use.
And have you seen these videos of people making just candy salads? Have
So
you
is it
seen
like?
those?
So is it? No, I haven't.
So
but-
it's basically
Yeah, like
like
everybody brings one thing and they
yeah,
put it in
so
a
it'd
big
be
bowl.
like
Yeah, I've
the
seen those.
office is doing a candy salad, and like every single person, there's just a giant bucket, and you just dump candy into it, and then that's the salad.
That's all it is. And so it's like everything can be
basically-
in like the wrapper. It's just like,
Well, they take it out of the wrapper, and then it's just loose candy in a big bowl.
oh wow,
It's ba-
okay.
So, what candy would you bring to the candy salad? What would be your
Interesting.
go-to? You think?
Well, see, that's very interesting because I feel like chocolate wouldn't mix in
No.
well
So
with like
none
It's
of
not
it
a
has
chocolate
been, none of
play.
it has been chocolate.
No.
It's been like the fruity candies.
good. Okay. See, then I'm on the right page without even seeing the trend.
So I got a couple picks, but I wanna see what you guys. What are some of your favorite like gummy candies?
I'm
Like what do
going
you,
nerd clusters right off the bat.
I
Oh
was
my
gonna
gosh,
say that
they're
that's
so
definitely
good.
one of mine.
They're
Those things
so
are
good.
crazy.
dude.
They're so good. I love
What-
those things.
What pack? What color pack?
I'm a red pack fan, but I also love the blue packs. But like, I could eat a whole red pack in one sitting. I couldn't eat a whole blue pack in one sitting.
I agree.
I would agree with that.
I would agree 100%. I can't even disagree with that. There's nothing.
Definitely
no
not
part of me-
wrong.
No, there's no part of me that wants to disagree
Dude,
with that.
Nerds clusters are so good.
I like those a lot. I mean, I'm a big I'll be honest, I'm a big traditional Skittles fan.
Ooh,
See, I'm
love it.
not a big Skittles guy.
I
I'm
love
on board
Skittles.
with Skittles.
I like
I'm on
sour
board with
Skittles.
I
And now
love
that they
Skittles.
make Skittles gummies, I like gummy candy more than
I like
hard
gummy.
candy personally.
I
And
like
then this
gummy
is just
candy.
going to be contradicting myself because one candy that I would put in there just to be crazy would be some warheads.
Okay.
Maybe, yeah.
Just put a bunch of warheads in
That
there.
would throw off the balance, though.
It would.
I mean,
though.
it's a
But that
candy
throws off
salad.
your jingle.
You catch a warhead, you
jingle
just,
bite.
you just catch a warhead and you just bite into that.
yeah.
it's such a with some nuts. This is such a classic move. A couple nuts in your hand, just
Yep. Exactly.
shake those bad boys. Rolling dice.
Sour gummy worms.
Rolling dice. I love
Sour gummy worms are definitely getting in there.
They're so good.
I
um,
would individually unwrap a bunch of Starburst and throw them in there.
Starburst.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which, to your
Starburst.
point, Adam, that's a pretty perfect hybrid of chewy, gummy, and hard.
Hard.
Because
yeah.
that's one that you take that bite and you're like, ooh, it's just, I just have to work a little bit harder. Whereas like a warhead, you're like
True.
chipping a tooth.
Now, I will
Yep.
say nothing worse than getting one of those bad
Losing.
packs of Starburst and they're like solid hard.
Yep.
That's
they're
a
old.
no-go for me.
They're
I hate
old and
those.
stale.
It's depressing when that happens.
Old and stale. Don't like them.
You know what candies? They were always in like the little machines at the grocery store where you could put in 25 cents and get a
Mike and
handful
Ike's.
of them. Not Mike and Ike's. I would
those
always
fruity things.
runts. Where, yeah,
Runts.
they're like hard candies in the shape of fruits.
Yep. And
And
I
they
always
did-
liked the bananas.
I see. I was going to say the same thing, but like they weren't good. They didn't really taste like the fruit.
Oh, I like the bananas.
See,
Dude,
but if you
I-
had a runts today, do you think you're like, ooh, these are just as good as I remember, or you're like, these actually low key suck?
I have a story.
Like candy
So-
buttons.
I was out to dinner like 3 weeks ago with my parents and my
Where
aunt
at?
and uncle.
What was
I
the
don't even know.
restaurant?
I don't even know. It was out in St. Charles area
Okay.
with my
Okay.
aunt and my uncle who live in St. Charles. And we left the restaurant and they had one of those machines and they had those in the machine. And I said, I haven't had those in probably 20 years. And my aunt was like, I love those. And so we put a quarter in there and I said, I always like the bananas. And she's like, I don't like the bananas. And so she put a quarter in there and we got them out and I ate the bananas out of there and I loved them. They tasted
I'm going. I'm going to buy you on Amazon right now a 4-pound bag of just banana runts.
I saw, and so that happened, and then I was somewhere else, and they just had the bananas in the machine,
Oh,
Could
which
you
I didn't buy them, but
could you name me all 5 of the fruits and runts?
cherry,
You
Orange.
could do it.
lime,
orange, lime,
cherry,
banana,
So
banana,
orange,
grape.
banana, yes. It is not lime.
grape.
Grape, yes. And it is not cherry. So it's not lime and it's not
Strawberry,
cherry.
banana.
Strawberry.
Yep. And then what's the green one? If it's not lime,
It's
only-
green apple.
yeah, I was gonna say it's only one other flavor if it's not
Green
not
apple.
not lime. You know what I
Um,
had the other day? A snow cone. How often do you guys have? When's the last time you had a snow cone?
I just actually had one in Miami for Kent's wedding.
I haven't had one probably since high school. We used to get them in high school all the time.
I love snow cones.
I got a couple great candies. Now these are discontinued candies, so this is gonna be a little trip down memory lane. But I
Okay.
want to see if you guys remember either of these.
Okay.
Okay.
They were
we-
elite for me back in the day.
Are we gonna get a little screen? Yeah, there it is. I was gonna
There
say
you
we can
go.
get a little screen
You guys
share.
remember
Pull up-
these?
Pull up the screen.
Sweet tart cherry
Yup.
sours.
Yep.
Yup.
Those
I like
things
a
used to
sweet
be
tart. Yep.
elite, and these Twizzlers sours
Yeah.
used
Ooh,
to be
I don't know if I've ever had a
so
a
freaking
sours.
good, dude.
A
They used to be
sours.
so good. Look at these little things. Oh, they were so good.
Oh, I do remember
loved
those.
them
I
so
do
much.
remember
I
those.
love a good sour candy though. So, and you said that's discontinued. So you're trying to tell me
I
I can't get
believe
my
so.
hand on a Twizzler
Well,
sours?
this looks like maybe we could try and buy some.
My little sister's
on
about to
that.
be in.
Hold on.
It's out of
Korea.
stock, not
Out of
available
stock.
for purchase.
Oh, nuts.
Oh, nuts.
Should we see if we can find any other discontinued?
Just because you're looking at candies and I just saw them, how dumb of a marketing campaign was it when Mike and Ike's made it seem like there was a beef between Mike and
Yeah.
Ike? So you could buy Mike's and you could buy Ike's.
But it was
It's-
literally they're like
I think that's just as dumb as the left Twix and
it's
right
a rip
Twix.
off of left Twix, right Twix.
They're both so dumb.
You guys like Jujubes? They're okay.
Oh,
They're
I
average.
don't think I've ever had a Jujube.
They're pretty not great.
Oh, those Altoids that are right under where you're at right
These
now.
guys,
those
the
things are
mango
so
sours,
good.
those
Yeah,
were
those were
good.
good. What is,
Tartinis?
Look at all these things.
Cream
Laffy
savers,
Ta-
those things friggin' smacked too.
I love those aren't
Crazy.
discontinued. I love those. My grandma used to have those back in the day. R.I.P. Grandma.
Is there any other ones?
Oh,
used
that
to be-
gum
You guys
right
remember
there, that-
these
yeah.
guys? Oh
Yep.
man,
Yep.
Those are a
Dots suck. I'll say
throwback.
it.
Oh, you don't like dots?
They're too
Wait.
chewy. They're
I
Skittles
like
bubble
dots.
gum. You guys remember that?
juicy fruit.
Dots did get stuck in your teeth way too much easily though.
I'm trying to think if there's any other ones.
This
that
makes
were
me just
really
want to
good.
go to like a candy store. Some overrated candies like the little gummy colas. You know what I'm talking about? Like the Haribo cola gummies.
Yeah, but I do like a Haribo.
Oh, these would be great also for the
The candy salad.
yeah. These sweet tart little ball things.
Yep.
Yep.
Those are pretty good.
Sprees. Chewy
Sprees.
sprees.
Take it
Sprees.
spreezy.
Sure.
Chalky sweet tarts.
I like
Mm.
chalky sweet tarts. So I can take down the whole little pack of them in one bite. You just pour the whole thing in your mouth.
How
I used
about
to love
rock
those
candy?
things.
Did you guys ever eat rock
No.
candy?
No.
I mean, I had it.
I liked rock candy.
I had it, but I liked the stuff that blew up in your mouth.
Pop
Pop,
rocks.
pop rocks. Yeah.
Maybe a nice fun dip. How about candy
was never-
buttons? Did you
I
guys
was-
ever eat candy buttons? Those
I was
stunk.
not. I was not a candy button fan, and I was also. I thought Fun Dip was overrated. I was not a big Fun Dip
Fun
fan.
dip smacked.
Fun Dip was pretty sick.
I thought it was overrated.
I
I
might
didn't
just have
like.
to go to my local candy store and see what they got in there.
Have you
Now I
ever
just
been to
want
the Candy Factory on 44 on the way to
I have.
Springfield, Redmond's?
Yep, I'm
Mhm.
famous
It's
for
a
clean bathrooms. I've been in there.
Yeah, I've been there many a time. Famous
What's
stuff.
what's the candy shop on 70 in between here and in Columbia? Right on that junction where you get off for Jeff City.
Kingdom City. Oh
Yeah.
no.
Ozark
Yeah,
Land?
no, Kingdom City
Ozark.
sounds right. Yeah, it
Yeah,
might is it
Ozark
Ozark
Land.
Land?
It's
Okay.
Ozark Land. Yep.
More
Well,
known for their
Ozark Land
fudge.
is yeah. Ozark Land. Me and Adam stopped at an Ozark Land when an ex-girlfriend blew up on us.
And
You remember
someone,
that?
yeah, because someone destroyed the Ozark Land bathroom
And it was my fault.
and it was Dave's fault.
Of all the bathrooms I stopped at, it was
You
my
had to
fault.
pick the one that
I had to.
someone destroyed.
Yeah.
But
Classic.
Ooh, push pops, boys. I used to rock a push pop.
I keep trying to, every time we go to the grocery store lately, they're right there at the front. I asked Kristen if we need to buy them, but they're like the long plastic popsicles, and then
Oh
you
yeah.
just cut the top off and then you just slowly.
Yeah.
I'm like, do we need these? She's like, no. I'm like, one of these times I'm putting them in the basket.
Yeah, I would think we need an executive decision.
You know what
Or
song gets
just
stuck
the
in my
just
head?
the classic popsicle. What was your go-to flavor on the classic popsicles?
If you can't tell, I keep going back to it.
Banana.
Banana. But I also
what
liked
does a
the root
classic
beer.
popsicle mean?
I'm trying to. There's a specific pop. It was like the polar ice popsicles, I think.
I also like bomb pops.
I don't know. You guys sound rich. I was rocking whatever those little bags were, the long bags.
Yeah, the white bag.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What were
there's
those called?
banana.
Oh, was there?
I'm
There's
trying.
banana in there, root beer.
can't
I liked the root beer flavor too.
I liked the root beer
Grape.
one as well. I can't find. Maybe it wasn't polar ice, but yeah, they were in the like white. You could kind of see through it, so it was sometimes.
Flavor ice. Isn't that what they were called?
Let's see. Flavor ice. No, not those guys. It was like on a popsicle stick, actually.
I think they were just off-brand popsicles. Like
They looked
Schnucks
like
brand
like
popsicles.
these guys. But there was more flavors in a box than just orange, cherry, and grape.
Oh, okay.
Popsicle.
Yeah.
The original popsicle.
Yeah. And yeah, there was root beer, there was you could get orange, you could get strawberry.
You know what
feel like-
candy?
I feel
Did
like
you
it's
guys
just
ever
not
have
acceptable as an adult for me to just sit and eat a popsicle like it was when I was a kid.
I think it is. I think you should do it.
I have a question, Dave.
Yeah.
Because you're a lawyer, you have to like understand Latin and things.
Sure.
Sickle of popsicle.
Yeah.
A sickle is typically defined as like a curved
Yeah.
hook object.
Yeah.
How did we get to that to like icicle and popsicle?
It's a good question. And that's not a legal term. So the only Latin I know would be the Latin that is associated with that in the legal field. So this is outside my jurisdiction, and I don't have an answer for you. I'm sorry.
I'll
I
find
hate
one
to see it.
from
We'll
the
get-
Google
we'll-
machine.
We'll get an answer.
Yeah.
But we're
We'll
gonna
find out.
we're gonna swerve off of candy and popsicles here, and the reason I'm gonna ask this next question is because so on Kristen's bachelorette party, her maid of honor sent me like a list of questions that I needed to record myself answering, and then like on the bachelorette party, they asked Kristen the same questions to see like if she could get my answer, so to see how well we knew each other. And one of the questions was, who is your celebrity crush? And the answer I gave Kristen was like, I have never heard you say that person. That was shocking to me. I had no idea that was your answer. And then I was like, well, to be honest, it's not like I'm just like sitting here coming across pictures of this person and being like, look how hot. The answer was Dua Lipa. So it was like, look how hot Dua Lipa is. Like, I'm not just sitting here saying that. So I'm curious to know, do you think your like closest friend that is of the opposite gender or your significant other would be able to accurately guess your celebrity crush?
No.
I feel like Kristen would be able to accurately guess my man crush, what she did, but not my like celebrity female.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
think she could.
To be honest, and I was gonna say too, like I don't like if we wrote them down right now, which you just gave yours, and then we all had to guess. I would not have guessed Dua Lipa for you. I didn't know that that was yours, and you sent it in a group message the other like I forget what.
I
Adam,
sent it
we're
in
in
our
like multiple group messages.
I sent it in our blues chat because
and
Nick and I have sent a couple Dua Lipa things in there. So I really thought Nick would get the answer, but then Mitch just said the Charlotte from National Treasure, and then nobody said anything else.
I had no idea it was Dua Lipa. Well, you've mentioned her before, but I would have guessed like I don't know. Recently, you've been talking about Haley Steinfeld, so we've been talking.
She's up there for sure.
Which she's great. She's awesome.
And
She's
then
a great.
the OG for me is Jessica Alba, specifically first Fantastic Four Invisible Woman, Jessica Alba.
Yeah, back in the day, Jessica Alba, like when I was younger, like I was obsessed with Jessica Alba. But like nowadays, Margot Robbie.
It's a classic pick. I feel like Margot Robbie is today's Blake Lively.
Safe pick.
Okay.
Ana de Armas is a good pick. I'm a big fan.
Quality actress.
Yep. Scarlett Johansson's a real common pick. And I've been on the Marvel kick, so that also has had a big effect on that. I mean, there's so many options. Chris?
Yeah.
Who you got? You're being awfully quiet.
Oh god.
You try and guess mine.
Actress, artist,
They're both actresses.
both actresses, actressi, if you will.
Sure.
Sure.
What kind of female does old Christoph
You guys won't guess
Yablonsky-
it.
Can I get a hint?
There's one you might guess and the other one you won't guess.
Okay. Are they like newer actresses? They've been around the block for a while. Is
I
it a
would
classic
say
pick? Not
they're
a classic
both-
pick?
They're both Oh wow. That's not how old I expected her to be. Hold on, let me check how old the other one is.
Is that a oh no, she's that age?
Yeah, I
Or
did
you-
not expect her to be this age. Oh my god. Both of them are a lot older than I thought they were.
Okay,
Wow.
that's better than the reverse though. That's a better problem
Sure.
to
Yeah,
have.
yeah, true.
Yeah,
True.
yeah, much better problem to have.
They're
Um,
both almost 40.
Okay.
39 and 38.
Whoa.
They're both brunettes.
Natalie Portman and Keira Knightley.
No.
For the longest time, I could not recognize that. I could not tell you which one was which for those two. For the
Who's the
longest
other
time.
one?
Natalie Portman and Keira Knightley.
They look
Kira.
very similar.
And
but
what
I
really-
like Natalie Portman more
What
than
really
Keira
messed
Knightley.
me up was in the first Star Wars of the second trilogy, when there's two Padmes and they're doing like they're trying to dupe them. Natalie Portman is the original, and the stunt double is Keira Knightley. So they literally played
Oh my god.
like being stunt doubles for each other. I was like, I don't know which one is which. But Pirates of the Caribbean, Keira Knightley. What a woman.
right,
give me a hint, Chris. Give me a hint.
I'll just tell you who they are.
Give me one hint, then let me
Okay.
guess.
I've given you a couple hints.
All you told me was that they're 38 and 39 and brunette.
That's
Uh,
it. Those are hints. Okay. What kind of hint do you want?
Do they star in adult films?
No.
I got nothing. Just
I
tell me.
thought that was the route you're gonna take.
There are too many
Both
people
of their names start with an A.
with an A.
Um,
Both of them. And they're 38 and 39.
Yeah.
Alex.
Nope. Well, kind of. Yeah.
Alexandra Daddario.
Dario.
Yes, that's one.
That's a good one.
She's definitely older than I thought she was.
Yeah,
38.
wow. I
And
did
the
not
other one is a
think.
lot older than I thought she was too.
Give me the other one since I got Daddario. Chris
Aubrey
and I just.
Plaza.
Ooh, that's a good
Oh,
one.
good.
That's a good one.
39. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
I'm not shocked.
I like
that
both
she's
of those
39.
I like
I'm
both
not-
of those picks.
I'm shocked to Dario.
Good answer. Good answer.
Good answer. Put it on the board.
Definitely strong answers out of you.
Kristen and I watched Baywatch the other day
Ooh.
with
Good
Mr.
film.
Dario.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
Zac Efron is ripped in that movie. It's crazy.
Too
Yeah.
ripped almost.
Too ripped. It's just crazy.
So then that's the other end of the spectrum. Who is the man crush?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, definitely like I think from Adam, I don't know about you, but definitely we like sports, so I feel like there's kind of the athlete side of things too. Like
Yep.
um I don't know.
Mine is not an athlete. Mine is an actor. Mr. Austin Butler.
Awesome.
That's a handsome man.
Awesome pick. Yeah.
Mm.
Doesn't do
I
it
could
for
easily
you, Chris?
go. I could easily go with a Bradley Cooper.
Bradley
Or-
Cooper's awesome. Yeah. Strong answer.
Strong answer.
For obvious reasons, I haven't thought about this one as much.
Andrew Garfield is ranked number 36 on hottest male actors of all time.
I was getting ready to look up that.
36.
I was getting ready to
Not
look up
bad
that.
for my man.
That's pretty
He's
good for my-
beating Orlando Bloom. That's kind of crazy. And James Franco.
Wow.
A young
Uh,
Orlando Bloom. Again, Pirates of the Caribbean Orlando Bloom, another handsome man.
Brad Pitt all the way down at 53.
I was thinking Brad Pitt because Brad Pitt's awesome.
I
The
feel
number
like
on IMDb, Jesus,
You got it.
IMDb. You know who the number one hottest actor of all time is?
who?
Marlon Brando.
No,
Idris Elba.
freaking Taylor Lautner.
Taylor. Me.
Adam.
That's unbelievable.
It's me.
Get out of here. They have
I'll
Johnny
take it.
Johnny Depp is number 3. They have Orlando Bloom as 4 on that list.
Huh.
Really, what it boils down to is there's just so many good looking people out there.
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling, Channing Tatum. These are some good answers. They have Andrew Garfield as number 12.
The people love Garfield.
I know. Chris Hemsworth. Chris Hemsworth is a good looking guy. And
Chris, Liam, and then the unfortunate forgotten Hemsworth brother Luke.
Poor guy.
I didn't even realize that they're.
He actually probably has a great life.
Also an actor.
Right.
He's in Westworld. He is an actor.
I think Brad Pitt's my answer.
Okay. Well,
Love
Pitties.
that. Love
I'll
that
allow
guy. Love that guy.
Do you like a young Pitties or an older Pitties?
I think I like
new
old.
age Pitties or classic Pitties?
I think old Pitties is awesome.
Okay. Like
I
Mr.
think-
and Mrs. Smith Pitties?
No, the old one, like the one now,
Oh, as in
like current.
current. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah, like
okay.
old, like is an age old.
Like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood Pitties.
Yes.
I don't know what you guys are talking about, but I do know that the Chainsmokers just released a song called "No Shade at Pity." P-I-T-T-I.
And is it about him?
Is it about
don't
old
know.
Brad
Maybe.
Pittlesworth?
Ooh, forgot to mention Michael B. Jordan.
Mm.
That's a good answer.
Mm,
That's
Good
a good
answer.
answer. That's
Good
a good
answer.
answer. Yep. All right. That's
Chris, my guy, where are we sitting on time?
I think we're right at like an hour right now.
Then I say we
Draft it up.
Do we draft it? Do we want to do the
Oh, or-
impromptu? Or do
Sure.
we want to do a little geo guessy? Let's draft it up.
Let's draft
Sure.
it up.
All right, so we are going to do an
Sure.
impromptu, no preparation work done leading up to this on Cocktails draft.
This is one I would say you shouldn't need preparation for this one. You should know your top 5 and like other backups.
I was gonna say, really, the only problem is there's like picks that if you guys pick them, I'm like scrambling, but like I can think of one, you know?
Sure.
Sure. Can we get
Yeah.
a sure counter up on the screen right here?
Yep. Sure. Sure.
I'm gonna buy one of those. I'm gonna buy a pitch counter, and then I'm just gonna sit here. Just
How many
Every-
times has sure
yeah.
said?
I'm officially changing to yep.
take the over under before
See.
each episode.
Yep.
See.
All right.
All right. Who's going first?
Someone pull up the
The wheel?
wheel.
Yeah. Pull up the wheel. I do have a list of cocktails pulled up. I know what my first is going to be. I know what my second would be, and I know what my third would be, and I'm confident that
I think I have at minimum 3 cocktails on here that you guys don't even have on your big board.
Okay.
I think I got 3 that I can safely pick.
All right. Well, I'm going first.
Am I?
Is
is.
Adam.
Me.
Damn.
Nice,
Damn.
nice, nice.
Nice. Nice.
Not
Nice.
gonna,
Nice.
I'm obviously not gonna take any of the ones that I don't think you guys will take.
Who's second?
Dave in the middle. Chris at the turn. I feel like that we've had this order a lot.
I've never been in the middle.
I was gonna say I don't think I've had the first pick. I feel like
I've-
Dave's gotten the first pick a lot.
I've never been in the middle. So, Chris, you're just flat out wrong. Sorry.
Okay, so it goes me, Dave.
Have you wait, you've
Chris.
never met Malcolm before?
I've never met Malcolm in the middle.
Damn.
Frankie Munoz.
Frankie.
That salty.
He's on my
salty
big board.
sailor. Salty sailor head.
All right. So first overall pick in the cocktails draft, which I want to get a clarification just because this is also for you guys just as much as it is for me.
Adam's losing his voice.
Frozen
I was thinking the
versus
same
not
thing.
frozen. Like if I take the not frozen version of a cocktail, is it on the board for someone to take the frozen version?
Oh, see, I didn't even know that frozens were going to be available.
Dude, that's a cocktail. They better
But
be
yeah,
available.
a frozen margarita is definitely different than a regular margarita on the rocks.
Okay, so they're both,
Yep, they're
On the board.
individual. Yep.
and
Yep.
I mean that should tell you the direction of the pick I'm going here. It's just which one am I taking? And with the first pick, one of one, I am going with a margarita on the rocks.
All right. Good pick. Very solid.
Just I really didn't think it was going to come back to me is really what the problem was with that one, and that's just a staple in the game.
Okay.
I love it.
I hate it.
Because you
You
liked
hate
it,
it.
or you just didn't.
No, I just don't like margs on the rocks. I
Are you
only
a-
like frozen margs, and then I don't even like margaritas on the rocks at all.
Okay. I love
Wow.
a marg on the rocks.
Wow. That just tells how you really feel there, Chris. All right,
Yep.
with the second, sure.
Yeah.
With the with the second pick, this is going to shock absolutely nobody at all who knows me whatsoever. Anybody want to go ahead and just announce to everybody what I'm going to pick here?
If you
And
like
you like
pina
pina
coladas,
Bingo.
then get caught in the rain.
And for those reasons, I'm going with a pina colada with the second overall pick.
That makes me so happy because that means the good old fashioned
I think you're
Mm.
about to.
drops to me.
Did you see? I was going to just throw a curveball at everybody, and that because you thought I was going to take pina colada, and then I was going to take an old fashioned.
I would have been devastated.
I know,
That would
but
have been a terrible prank on me. I would have been very sad.
That's
I
an, that's
love
an
an old
incredible pick. Incredible pick.
Smoky, different flavors. Give me it all. I love them all. This restaurant around here has one that's a black walnut old fashioned that's just amazing.
Mm.
Then I'm gonna follow that up with a oh man. I think I'm gonna go with the good old Moscow Mule.
Another
Mm.
great pick.
It's a good pick. I don't like them that much personally, but it is a very solid pick. Can't hate on it at all. So there you go. All right.
Yep.
With my second pick, I am going to go with the Jack and the Coke.
Okay.
I commonly order the Jack and the Diet Coke, but it is just a known fact that Jack and Coke taste better as a combo together. So I'm going with Jack and Coke as
Okay.
my pick in the second round
I
for me.
I also do have just a 1-in-1 cocktail on here, but I'm gonna save that. I think I can get it back on my next one.
Yeah, I
So
mean that's essentially drafting a kicker in the second round.
Okay.
so with
Sure.
with my second pick, I'm going the espresso martini.
No, no, no.
Had to go
Dang
the
it.
espresso martini.
Gosh, I should have
Great
done that.
pick. Great
And
pick.
then, even though I don't think either of you guys are going to take this, similarly with how I like to build my teams more times than not, I like a different variety. So this is covering my personal breakfast cocktail, and I'm going with the Bloody Mary. I don't think either of you guys like them, so I didn't see you guys taking them,
Mm,
but I feel like in the 3 spot, that's exactly where the Bloody Mary is supposed to be.
Okay.
there you go. Oh,
Back
to
to
me.
Dave.
Back to me. All right. So my next pick is, I mean, obviously this is based on what we like. And so I think my next pick is going to be a Long Island iced tea.
Ooh, good cocktail. I haven't had a Long Island iced tea in some time.
I don't get them often, but they will just really mess you up a little bit, and I enjoy them. I think they're really good. Don't get them enough. And I think I'm going with that with my third pick.
I love it.
Yep.
Oh gosh. And that brings it back to me. And I think I could corner the market here, or
Corner the
I could
market.
Your
diversify.
portfolio.
Yeah. What do you want to do?
Mm. I gotta go with what I think I would order third on this list with that, with everything being gone, and I think my answer would be a mojito.
Mm.
But it is pretty similar to the Moscow Mule, but that's fine. We're cornering the market on limey drinks.
I was gonna say you just took a
Blimey.
drink off my big board. So great pick. Great pick.
Thank you.
What are you
Thank
gonna
you.
do next? Take a margarita, frozen margarita?
Now I'm really struggling.
What's
I
he gonna do
think,
now?
gosh, I mean, there's so many like actual cocktails that I should be considering here. I think I'm gonna ignore all of it and do exactly what I just made fun of Dave for doing, taking a kicker essentially. And my kicker is better than his kicker in my opinion. I'm gonna
You're-
go
you're-
the Jack and Ginger.
Oh no, that's
I-
not better.
I thought you were about to take my kicker, and I was gonna be so mad.
I respectively disagree that is better than a Jack and Coke.
It just is. Yeah, they're better.
I don't like ginger ale though, so that is a personal preference thing.
Yeah, this is all personal preference.
That is true. That is kind of the point of the draft. All right, so I'm up again, and Adam earlier took his breakfast drink of choice with the Bloody Mary, which I do not like at all. And I am going to take my breakfast drink of choice now, which is the classic mimosa. I'm going to take the champagne and orange juice combo
There you go.
that I drink when I have a breakfast beverage. So we're going mimosa.
Mimosa. Have it written
All right.
down.
All right, Adam.
Hold on, making sure I got my team here. So I got my marg, I got my my beach drink, I got my espresso teeny for my late night nightcap, got my Bloody Mary, so I'm covering breakfast. I think I'm going to do. So we're gonna say scrap it, and we're gonna stop, not try to build the perfect team, well-rounded here. And I'm gonna go with the bee's knees. Have you guys ever had a bee's knees?
I have not.
I have not. What's in
I
there?
actually, I've actually identified as a man for my whole life. So
A bee's knees is gin, fresh lemon juice, and honey, and it is served shaken, and it is delicious.
it's probably fantastic.
It probably is fantastic.
I get them from time to time at Mission Taco here in St. Louis. They got the bee's knees on the menu, and it's very refreshing, very delicious. So I'm gonna go bee's knees, and then with my last pick, I'm going to take my kicker, just like you guys did your 1-for-1. I'm taking a gin and tonic.
There you go.
That's a good choice. G&T, baby.
Oh, it's a classic. All right. With my last pick, speaking of identifying as a man, so I'm going to stick with, what I like. And it's a close relative of the pina colada. And I took the pina colada in the first pick. And I got something stiff with the Long Island iced tea that, is a little more manly. And a Jack and Coke is a
Got
manly
something
drink.
stiff over here too.
And so with so that makes me, feel like a man. But I bookend my bookend picks here. I'm gonna finish us off with a Miami Vice. A little
okay.
yeah, a little, not a strawberry daiquiri. I
That's
could
what I
have
was
done
thinking.
that.
Yeah.
I could have done that.
And
But
I
then
like a
could've
Miami
just-
Vice more, so great choice.
And then you could have just combined two of your cocktails in your top 5, and then you got a sneaky little 6th cocktail that no one saw coming.
I could have done that. And we could have run like a mix play, some type of little reverse play at some
Yep.
point, and it would have made a Miami Vice. But really, it's, I like a Miami Vice more than a strawberry daiquiri, so why not just go ahead and put the Miami Vice on the team?
Sure.
So
Yep.
Bring it home, Chris.
see,
Well, I was gonna go strawberry daiquiri. I'm gonna let Dave kind of have it with the Miami Vice. I wish I would have picked that instead of the Jack and Ginger, but I'm gonna round out and diversify a little bit because I went Moscow Mule Mojito, and I'm gonna go vodka Red Bull.
Oh,
great pick. I dang it, I should have
what
done
a
that.
pick.
I love that pick. I love that pick so much.
It's just an important one to have in the tool belt because it
It
serves a
is.
very distinct purpose,
Oh my gosh, it'll get you just absolutely hyped
and you can just suck them down all night long too.
all night long.
So
So-
bad for your heart.
What were some big misses out there? No one took the
None, I
strawberry
don't
daiquiri. I think that's a good cocktail that someone could have taken.
Pisco sours are really good.
Yeah,
Whiskey sours are okay. I think the challenging thing with this is like when you go to a restaurant nowadays, these aren't even on the menu. It's like the cloudy meatball surprise or like whatever Jack's horse walk
They
or
are
something
all,
like that. Like
they're
it's
always kind
Yeah.
of wacky.
a sidewalk friend or something like that. Like
yeah, it's always something like crazy.
with like
Like-
18 ingredients that you're like, I don't even know what 3 of these are.
So
Yep.
something I was about to take because like I said, I wanted to get like a well-rounded team. I feel like I never got myself a good like fall or like wintertime cocktail.
yeah.
Like a hot drink.
Mm-hmm.
And like
There's
I had
none of that.
like I had Hottie Toddy, but I feel like I've only had one of those actually in my life, and it would have just been purely for the draft purposes. Like I couldn't even tell you what those taste like.
Yeah,
Or is like a butter beer. Have you ever made your own butter beer? Is that considered a cocktail? 'Cause it has, like,
Mm,
It has
Kinda.
like different vodkas in it. It's like
yeah. So I guess
it's like
it would be.
butterscotch vodka and then like
Have you guys
whipped
ever
cream
had just
vodka.
like spiced apple cider with vodka in it? It's pretty good.
See, I had a hard time picking apple cider because I didn't know if that's technically a cocktail, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I think a cocktail's anything that has like hard alcohol in it. So wouldn't it be?
I guess.
So I don't know. I think we did a good job though, because we all drafted things that we actually drink. And
A classic rum and coke. I haven't had a rum and coke in some time, but that's a classic.
That was a big
Mhm.
college drink for me.
It was rum and coke until you learned to like whiskey, and then you just went to whiskey coke is really what that was.
Rum and cokes were a big Nick's pub order for me.
Yeah.
Rum runner.
Mhm.
Honorable mention is UV blue straight out of a water bottle.
Classic
Ugh.
drink. Yep.
Dude, if I had to do that today, I would throw up as soon as that hit my lips.
Horrific. Sounds terrible.
Terrible. All right, let's run through the teams. Maybe we'll put a graphic out there. Maybe you guys will get a chance to vote. If not, it's just for us.
Exactly. Adam, you
So,
go first.
Yep, I had the first pick, so I went with the margarita on the rocks, the espresso teeny, the Bloody Mary, the bee's knees, and a G&T.
A lot of big names there.
All right. I went with the Pina Colada, the Jack and Coke, the Long Island iced tea, the Mimosa, and the Miami Vice.
And I had the old fashioned, a Moscow Mule, a Mojito, Jack and Ginger, and a vodka Red Bull.
There you go.
All
Some good-
things I could black out on easily.
So now at Sam's wedding this weekend, you have to order one of every single one of your drinks that's in your.
You think that they're going to
in your
offer?
draft.
I could probably, well, no.
You might be the only one that might actually be able to get every single one of
I
your
don't think
picks.
they're ripping old fashions from the bar.
You don't think so?
No.
I feel like they might do that. I don't think.
I
that they're
don't-
probably
like,
ripping.
I have
don't
a
think-
very high standard for old fashions. I will
I
say
mean, they
that,
could make
though.
you
like,
a garbage one.
Yeah,
Like,
they can make you the worst
I
old
don't
fashioned with Sprite
genuinely-
and like a ton of ice.
I don't
Yeah.
genuinely think they would have the ingredients. Like, if at any wedding reception bar I can go up and order a Bloody Mary, I'm at the wrong wedding
Yeah.
reception.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Shout out to the bartenders at Nick Nast's wedding. The fact that they were churning out those chocolate espresso martinis that quickly and they were drizzling the glasses, that was
They're-
one of the craziest things I've ever
The
seen.
old fashions at that wedding were good too.
Yeah, that whole thing, they were cruising
Heck
with
of
the
a
drinks
setup.
there.
Heck of
Yeah.
a setup. And
Well,
that was
there you
at Albans.
Yeah. Well, kind of.
Yeah.
The wedding wasn't at Albans. It was at that other place, wasn't it?
But it was like on Albans property, right?
Maybe. I don't know.
Who knows?
Sure.
I was pretty drunk by the time we even got there. So
All right. That was a
Good
good
work
draft.
tonight, boys. Good work tonight, boys.
Good draft.
Chris, excited to see you in person here in a couple days.
I know.
can't wait to see you guys.
You get to hear all the cicadas we have here. You're gonna love it.
I will.
They
Can't
don't
wait.
even sound like that, really. It's much louder.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's closer. Yeah,
Closer, I
that was
guess.
much closer. Yeah.
All right. As
All right.
always, that's Nightly Nonsense. See ya.
I'm a beautiful butterfly.
Yep.
Sure.
Sure.